What kind of man wrestles with God and survives to tell the story? What kind of encounter leaves a person wounded, yet forever changed? Before he was called Israel, before he became the father of a nation, he was a man running from his past, haunted by deception, driven by a hunger for something he didn't fully understand. But one night, in complete isolation, that hunger turned into a struggle, and that struggle became an encounter with God Himself. This is not just the story of Jacob, it is the story of a man who refused to let go, until God changed everything. Before Jacob ever spoke a word, his story had already begun. Two nations, struggling in one womb. Two destinies, moving in opposite directions. And even before birth, there was conflict. Esau emerged first, strong, wild, untamed. But Jacob followed closely, gripping his brother's heel. A quiet act, with a powerful meaning. Because this was not just a child. This was a man who would spend his life reaching, striving, contending. But what was he really chasing? And why did it always feel just out of reach? Time passed, and the difference between the brothers became clear. Esau lived for the moment. Jacob lived for the future. One day, hunger made a decision. Esau returned from the field, exhausted, desperate. And in a single moment of weakness, he traded something eternal for something temporary. A birthright for a bowl of stew. It seemed small, almost insignificant, but some decisions echo for a lifetime. And Jacob was watching, calculating, waiting. But was this wisdom or manipulation? Years later, an opportunity appeared. Isaac, old and blind, prepared to give his final blessing. A sacred moment, a once-in-a-lifetime transfer of destiny. But instead of waiting, Jacob stepped in, guided by his mother. He covered himself in disguise. He spoke with a borrowed identity, stood in a place that was not his, and received a blessing that was never meant to come that way. For a moment, it worked, but deception always carries a cost. Because as soon as the truth was revealed, everything changed. Esau burned with anger, the house filled with tension, and Jacob became a fugitive. He got the blessing, but lost his peace. So the question remains, did he truly gain anything at all? Jacob ran, away from his brother, away from his past, away from the consequences he could no longer control, until one night, he stopped. No shelter, no protection, just a stone beneath his head, and silence all around him. But in that silence, something unexpected happened. He dreamed. A ladder, stretching from earth to heaven. Angels ascending and descending. And above it, the voice of God. Not anger, not judgment, but promise. The same covenant given to Abraham, passed now to Jacob. In that moment, he realized something profound. God had been with him, even when he was running. But even then, his response was cautious, measured, conditional. He acknowledged God, but he had not yet surrendered. So the journey continued, but the transformation was not complete. Years passed. Jacob built a life, a family, wealth, but growth does not erase the past. Because one day, he heard something that stopped him completely. Esau was coming, and not alone. 400 men. Suddenly, The fear returned. Every memory, every decision, all rushing back at once. Jacob divided his household, prepared for the worst, and for the first time, he prayed with urgency. Not calculation, not strategy, but desperation. Because this was no longer about control. This was about survival. Then came the night that changed everything. Jacob was left alone. No family, no servants, no distractions, just him and the weight of his entire life. And then, a man appeared. No introduction, no warning. Only a struggle. They wrestled in silence. Not for minutes, but for hours. A battle without words, but filled with meaning. Until finally, one touch, and Jacob's hip was dislocated. A moment of overwhelming power. This was no ordinary man. This was God. And yet, Jacob refused to let go. Not in strength, but in desperation. I will not let you go, unless you bless me. For the first time, he was no longer pretending. No disguise, no manipulation, just honesty, just surrender. Then came the question, what is your name? Not for information, but for confession. Jacob, the deceiver. The supplanter, the one who grasped, who took, who struggled, and then everything changed. You shall no longer be called Jacob, but Israel, because you have struggled with God and prevailed. A new name, a new identity, not earned, but given. He entered that night as one man and walked away as another. But the story didn't end there. Jacob walked away, with a limp, a permanent reminder that real encounters with God leave a mark, not to weaken, but to transform. And then, the moment he feared most, he saw Esau approaching. But instead of violence, there was embrace. Instead of revenge, there was peace. The battle he feared externally had already been won internally. Jacob spent his entire life chasing blessings, until one night, he realized something deeper. The blessing was never what needed to change. He was, because sometimes, God allows the struggle, not to defeat you, but to transform you. What if the struggle you're facing right now is actually preparing you for transformation? And what if the breakthrough you're seeking will only come when you refuse to let go? If this story challenged you, take a moment to reflect on your own journey. And if you want more powerful Bible stories told with depth and clarity, subscribe and continue this journey of discovery.